the doggy hang, and the doggy hang, drank all the booze, and the doggy hang, drank up all the booze. Who let him in? And nobody knows. And the doggy hang, where do you go? Drinking all the booze. And the doggy hang, where is the booze? And the doggy hang, where is all the booze? Feels like going to church on Sunday right there at the end, you know, if it just kind of brings you home, just brings you in. Yo, dude.
Yeah, I feel like I should.
Yeah.
Yo, Debo, I feel like I should stand up at the end of that or something.
You do.
Know? Like,
you got to stand up for a minute. You just kind of got to breathe it all in and feel it right, make it right and tight. How you feeling today, man? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real fine. How about you?
yeah, I'm feeling solid. I'm good. Got a good night's sleep. It's another road game for me, but this time I'm in a hotel room, so we shouldn't have any audio issues.
So we're on the road, but we're not. I'm assuming we're something that starts with a B. Are we in Bakersfield?
Yeah, Bakersfield.
There it is. All right. Shout out Bakersfield for taking in my man, the dude, letting him chill with you guys for the night, maybe for 2 nights.
Well, it was last night. And then actually checkout is at 11.
Nice.
So we'll see how this show goes.
Okay.
I might get interrupted in the end. They might be evicting me, but otherwise we should be good to go.
Sounds good. Well, man, listen, I'm going to cut to the chase, man. We got a solid show in for tonight.
I'm excited.
Yeah, something we've been trying to get on the books for damn near 3 months or something like that. We've been trying to pull this one out. I want to talk a little bit about who we're going to bring on the show today. We're going to bring a man, ADAM Jacoby, on the show today. A personal hero of mine. My man. It's gonna be a good show. And we're going to talk a little bit about the journey that it takes and what it takes to do some serious hero work. Dude, what do you got to say about my man?
I mean, look, you and I know him well. I think the audience is going to like him and enjoy his story.
Right.
And he's always, as long as I've known him, which is a long time, he's always been a genuine dude.
Right.
So I think the interview will show that, and I think his story is something that is probably going to inspire a couple people.
You know,
Jacoby.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen.
Jacoby.
You guys have been definitely hearing a lot about this man, but it's time.
ADAM Jacoby.
First of all, wait, before we bring him on, how do I...
Oh, you don't even wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to stop all that. We can stop all that. We can just hold up. We can just pause that right quick. You know, it's cool. No. Don't do it.
Hank's got theme music.
Yeah.
Adam gets theme music.
Yeah.
Do I got to be a guest?
So, I mean, if you want to get your own theme music, if you want your own stuff, dude, I mean, you got your own show. Well, I mean, is enough not enough?
I'm getting greedy over
I can see that. Can I bring my man back out, please? Can I go back to
Let's bring him on. I'm sorry.
Can I go back to? There's a whole thing planned out here. Can we get this thing going?
Yeah.
We got to start
That's my
over.
bad.
It's okay. We gonna start over. I like it the way it feels. It does what I want it to do. We just
Jacoby. ADAM Jacoby. ADAM Jacoby. ADAM Jacoby.
Ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I bring you my man, the one, the only, ADAM Jacoby! up, baby?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Yo,
Man,
Professor Jacoby.
I gotta say, I mean, I'm genuinely speechless. I don't know how I can ever live up to the introduction.
I mean, you made. Oh, I got
You
to
can't,
I'm
man. Don't
speechless.
worry about
I
it. It'll
can't.
still be good.
I can't, but I wish I would have gotten the memo. Apparently, Sun's out, guns out.
Suns out, guns
with
out. You didn't know us,
Debo, and
did
then
you?
the dude over here with a size small shirt with his guns hanging out too.
It's a
So
medium.
it's excuse me, medium. So I apologize. I didn't wear my guns out attire, but
It's all right. Well, I mean,
it's great to see you guys. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate you. I appreciate the very warm and humbling introduction. So thank you guys for allowing me to be on the show today.
You're gonna make him blush for the first time in his life.
I think I might have actually.
Adam, it's an absolute pleasure. We've been talking about you coming on the show for just way
Thank
too
you.
long, and we're really excited to have you here. We're gonna jump right into it and let these people know what we know, but we want to hear from your words. Jacoby, where did we start out in life? Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Where are you from?
Well, okay, so from Anaheim, California. Yep, Anaheim. Kind of grew up from humbling beginnings. Lived with my mom for most of my life. My dad was in the picture, but he was off. He was busy running, family businesses and so forth. So, but there was my mom. I lived with mom for basically my whole life. Lived in a very, very small 2-bedroom apartment near Disneyland. Not the most safest area, and it just kind of evolved from there. Went after a while. After my grandfather passed away, we moved in with my grandma, kind of down the street from Disneyland. I think that's when we all kind of met for the first time. I think that was Debo. I met you 7th grade,
Something like that. Yeah.
Duder, I think I was in 8th grade, if I'm not mistaken.
You were 8th grade. I was 7th grade.
7th grade, and right behind Angelo's, and that's kind of where the journey really kind of takes off. And here I am today, still living in Anaheim, just a different part of Anaheim. It's the east side of Anaheim.
You should throw up that W.
Enjoying life.
That's all right.
Just enjoying life.
Roger that. All right, so we got there's some interesting noises in my ear, so I apologize. So we got a little bit of backstory there, and dude, you wanted to talk a little bit about the back of the book a little bit. Go ahead and jump into that for me real quick, so give Adam the idea what you're trying to give him.
Yeah, so part of the reason we wanted to have Adam on the show is because he made an interesting transition in his career. From banker to teacher / baseball coach, and not a lot of people. I think not a lot of people would make that type of transition. So I was wondering if Adam could just give us like the back of the book snippet. If somebody wrote your story, what is the back of the book about that transition? Give us a couple sentences, maybe 30 seconds on how that came about. And how you made that decision.
Yeah.
So just to contextualize, and so after college, got into the finance industry, and kind of worked my way up from a banker, moved companies, shifted over to more of a financial advisor role, retirement plan administration, with a very large credit union, and it was during that time when I decided I wanted to do something more intrinsically rewarding. Waking up and feeling like I was making an impact every day. So decided to go back to school mid to the late 30s for a career change. And here I am today. I mean, so it's been it's been a rough, I shouldn't say rough. It's been a fun, challenging ride, but I finally feel that I found my place in the world, and that's where I am. So hopefully that's a quick 30 to 45 second snippet into
no,
my
that's
life.
that's the back of the book. There it is.
This is how I can tell my guy teaches, because he doesn't understand how the back of the book is. He's actually reading the book, whereas I just read the back of the book and wrote my book report in class. But no, that was good, Adam. I appreciate that. That was solid. I enjoy getting it from your point of view. So originally, I'm just going to jump in.
Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
So originally, you went to college. You went to Chapman,
yep.
right?
Chapman University.
Yes,
sir.
And at the time you were going to Chapman, what was the plan? What was your life goal? What were you studying? Where was your head at that point?
Where was the compass pointing in Chapman?
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. I don't think I had a plan. I went after high school. I took a year off from community college. I had a very close uncle of mine pass away, and just, it took me a while to kind of get back into school. Didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Was partying, doing the partying thing. And
sure.
I kind of came to a fork in the road. If I continue on one path, it's probably not going to lead to a very successful life. Right. If I redirect myself and go another path, I felt there was more success. And so I chose the latter and went to community college for, I think, about 2 or 3 years, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, get my grades up, and applied to Chapman University. For those that don't know, Chapman University is a private university in Orange. It's pretty rigorous, pretty challenging to get into, and I was very fortunate. I remember getting the acceptance letter and just being completely elated. So went to Chapman, knew I wanted to jump into some sort of like a business administration type role, just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I started majoring in business administration with an emphasis in marketing and finance. And I think at the time I had this preconceived notion of what marketing was. I wanted to be like a marketing executive, with these, like a Nike, like a sports company, going out and marketing these products, advertising, and so forth. And so that was really the path. After I graduated, the real world kind of lets you know your place. And so kind of slugged me in the chest a little bit. Every interview for marketing was door-to-door sales, selling printers or copiers, and I was just thinking, there's no way I want to do this. This is not what I had in mind.
That's not marketing. So that's not that doesn't really hold the marketing job at high.
Not at all. Not at all. So there's a movie, and this is probably a little bit on the foofier side. There's a movie called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and
I got that. That's actually the number 2 in my selection. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
So he's the main character. He's an advertising executive, and that's kind of what I envisioned. And so little I know, that's not what marketing was. Or you have to start at the bottom. You're making like, at the time it was like $7 an hour. It's ridiculous. So, so I got into mortgages. And that was kind of still during the mortgage boom, late 2000, and just it wasn't what I wanted to do.
There
was a lot of money
in
it, but there was a lot of money, but I just was like, that's not me. So started working at Wells Fargo. I was a personal banker, and I was always really good at developing relationships and talking, so I did well. I got my advisory licenses, but the pathway at Wells Fargo was a little challenging, and just the sales part of it just wasn't aligning with what I wanted to do. So
can I stop you at Wells Fargo for a second?
Sure. Yep.
So, in our life, and we, together, we've all talked, a banker would be closer to what we would have expected you to be from what we heard from you. Is that fair? Is that
he was always the banker when we played Monopoly.
I mean, he was the dude I handed money to, hands down. I was like, give him the money and then let him figure it out. He'll hand it back to me. And then it was like, I wasn't always happy with it, but for some reason I smiled. So I was like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Let's say this. It was culturally appropriate, if you know what I mean.
Are you saying that all Filipinos are nurses? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that all?
I am saying certain cultural groups, or they could tend to be a little bit better at money than others.
All right, I understand.
I want to jump in here real quick while we've taken a break. So around the same time that Adam was either in Chapman or maybe getting out of Chapman, I was also interested in marketing. I didn't have the same background. I didn't quite work quite as hard as Adam to put myself in a good position.
I don't understand.
I definitely did as much of the partying as he did. I just didn't have the adult decision to make that adjustment.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But I wanted to do marketing. That sounded like a great job, exactly how Adam described
100%. Yep.
it. So I took a job that was titled marketing, and it was marketing for the Angels. You remember it? Marketing for the Angels, for all these. I was like, man, how great would that be to do marketing for the Angels and all these sports teams that I enjoy? It was exactly what Adam said. It was door-to-door sales. I was basically selling coupon books.
Yep.
to get discounts on, Angels tickets or Pizza Hut or whatever. And they sold it like you could move up and eventually you could, be the guy working with Nike like Adam talked about or whatever. And I was making, $7 an hour or something ridiculous and just busting my butt going door to door.
I remember those vouchers. I remember the vouchers, the 2 for 1s.
You probably bought a couple.
I probably did buy a couple.
So for all those 20 somethings out there, we know we're real big with the 20 something audience. You guys don't fall for those shady marketing gigs.
Do not.
And put in the work like Mr. Jacoby did and actually get a real job.
There it is. So now I gotta fast forward through a couple of things. There's a whole lot that happens from the time that your perceived conception of yourself is going to be a banker, and maybe we fed into that as friends because we let you hold the money. But
yes, you did.
But a lot happened from that time till the time you changed your mind. I mean, you got married, you had kids. I think you had a house. I'm sure you had a car too. You had some real hold down responsibilities, some kind of responsibilities you just can't shake. And then you said, you know what? I want to be happy. Sorry, sir. What do you? That's not a lot for you. You got a car, you got a house, you got a wife, you got kids.
You got bills to pay.
You got bills to pay, sir. And then somewhere in your heart you said, yeah, I know, I see all that, and I see the path, and I understand I'm good with money, and it's fine, but something changed in you. And what was that really made that?
Was there another Matthew McConaughey movie that you watched and you were like, all right, I want to be a teacher now?
He took his shirt off. So you guys should just go this way and be a teacher.
I wish. No, it was so just to kind of end that contextualization. So when I moved over to schools first, I had the opportunity to be a retirement advisor for school employees, and my role was to go and hold these retirement workshops and educate them on the importance of retirement. And so I would get up in front of large audiences, or and educate on
you would
how to do certain
you would
things.
stand in front of people and tell them how to save money.
Yeah, truth be told, I was always deathly afraid of public speaking. And when I got the job interview at schools first, or I ended up getting the position, that's when they told me, yeah, you got to hold retirement workshops. And I was just like, but it was at that point I was like, listen, you can either, suck it up and just own it, overcome your fear of public speaking, or you can just stay at Wells Fargo. And so I did it. And, towards the end of my tenure, I was speaking to, 50 to 100 people. Just educating them, and I was comfortable. So truth be told, on the way back from Lancaster visiting out one of our districts, I was like, I just had this epiphany, right? I wanted to do something more. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to make a difference in the world. I wanted to wake up every morning knowing that I was making an impact in the lives of something, right? So coupled with the fact that I always wanted to coach sports.
Now stop there. Now you say this is the first time on this show that we've said that word. I wanted to coach sports, and it's the first time you even mentioned it up till here. So I really want to take you back. You coach sports at a younger age. This is something that you did at a younger age. This isn't like something brand new that just popped out and you were like, hey, I want to coach sports. That's something new. This is something you had already done previously in your life earlier. So
yeah, we did. Yes. So the dude can tell you. So we coached a team together along with one of our other buddies, Chris, I'm sure, who's been on the show. And so we just, when I talked about sports, I was like, I just wanted to coach. I wanted to coach it more on a competitive level and help kids in their development. And so I got home and I was talking to my wife, Tiara, you guys know her. And is
that your wife?
That is my wife. That is my wife, Tiara. My wife, you know my wife.
Shout out, Tiara.
Shout out, Tiara. And so she's like, you know what? I've always thought you'd make a great teacher. She's just like, I just never knew you wanted to do it. So
she stood you up. She stood you up, brushed your shoulders off. It was like, hey,
that was it, man. And that's really where the journey began.
Wow.
I made up my mind and I just jumped into it. I started looking at universities, and I think it was within a month I made the decision. It was a big decision because teaching is, when you look at the like the business side of it, so to speak.
Okay.
It's a very impacted industry. It's very difficult to get in. I was already, I was already a little bit older in life. I had mortgage, so it was, and I don't know if we're going to get into it, if you're going to ask questions about the program later and transitioning, but that was, it was a big step. And I decided I was making really good money at my company, and
let's pause right there, man.
I just made the decision. I chose happiness over, the financial aspect of it.
You touched right on it, and you're really touching on one of the main parts of the story, which is, I'm not going to ask you how much you were making, how much you're making now, but the point I really want people to come away with was you were making much more before you made this decision, and you decided to take the pay cut. Is that a fair assessment of what happened?
I took about a 48% pay cut.
Jesus,
man.
So knowing that you're basically cutting your income in half,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
how does that conversation with Tiara go? You guys do you have all three kids at this point when you're making this?
Yep, all three kids.
So you got 3 kids, you got a mortgage, like very real life responsibilities. Right. And then you go to your wife and you're like, hey, my income is gonna cut in half, 50%. Are you cool with that? And she's like, yeah, I always thought you'd be good at this and you'd be happy. Is it that simple, or do you guys sit down, you work out the budget, and you figure out like how we're gonna cut corners, we're gonna eat?
This is the guy that used to stand in front of 50 people, and tell them how to save money. And then he was like sitting his wife down, and the kids had to sit in the front row too. Okay, guys, this is how we're going to save money. Because Daddy.
But that's what I want to know. Did you approach Tiara with a PowerPoint, and you're like, look, this and then this and then that?
No, it was it was just as simple as her saying, well, we'll make it work. Just do what she wanted to just do what makes you happy.
Basically.
Be happy.
Do what makes you happy. We'll make it work. If we have to make sacrifices, we'll make sacrifices. So, it really comes down to, behind every success story, usually there's a pretty damn good woman. Sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to say damn in the airways, but it's a pretty pretty damn good woman behind that success story. And so
I'll second that motion there. I'll second that motion right there.
She was the one that pushed me. She's the one that said, hey, your dreams are her dreams, and so that's where and so I wouldn't have been able to do it without her, because I was working full time with 3 kids, going to school at night.
Wow.
And so it was her that I wouldn't have gotten through without her.
So you're still working at schools first, mm-hmm. and then you've made this decision. You get into the teaching program. Now, how many hours are you putting towards the teaching program? You already have your full-time job, like you said. You're doing this at night. Mm-hmm. How many hours does that take per night, per week? What kind of commitment is that?
So I was working full-time. Kids had sports, and so shuttling the kids around the sports. I'd come home, probably do 1 to 2 hours a night. That was usually about 6 days a week. Sometimes on the weekends it would probably be a little bit more. So I was really working 7 days a week with the school portion of it, and that was, I believe, for almost 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, by the time I graduated the credential program.
All right, so now we've skipped forward. We got the credentials. The journey sounded horrible, but worth it.
Rough.
It sounds to know you're dipping there. It just sounds rough with a family. I say it knowing what that's like with a family on my shoulders, and I it's not even my shoulders. My wife's doing the pushing around here, man. I just steer the boat. So, so I rough time, but we graduated, right? Like balloons, everything, the whole nine, right? So What'd you do? You got a job right away, right? And I just started teaching, and it was just an easy out the gate, no problem, easy. Being teachers is like an easy road, right? That's what happened next.
Yeah, in a perfect world, yes.
Yeah,
We don't live in the perfect world. So so after the 2 years is up, right? So I'm I'm exhausted.
Sure,
you're grinding, yeah.
So I was very fortunate where I still had a great job. The challenging part with teaching is with my content area, social studies, it's highly impacted. Very difficult to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you have to complete, what's called it's an internship, and usually it's about 12 weeks. It's unpaid, and there was just no way. That was one aspect that I couldn't do it. So the only other option was to find a school district that would hire me on as a paid internship.
Oh, wow.
Now they will school districts will typically do that in the content areas that they need help in. So typically it would be like science, math. It would be let's say like special education.
They need more teachers in that specific area.
Yeah, because they can't find them.
Okay.
Speech pathology.
Okay.
History teachers are a dime a dozen. So
damn.
So
I mean, it's the fun class.
It is, right?
100%.
So I was very, very fortunate to know I had a contact at a school district that that let's just say helped tremendously in me securing a position at their high school.
Those sound like a lot of big words, Adam. A lot of big words to me.
Yeah,
a lot of big words. Right
So there might have been a slight circumvention of standard hiring practices, but nevertheless, I was still qualified, right? I sold them on the fact that that I had success in the private sector,
mm-hmm.
and what I wanted to do is I wanted to use the content of history as a platform to develop skills that students will need outside in the real world. I don't use.
You see history. That, dude? You see he did it again?
That's great. That's why he's a good teacher.
You see where he did that again?
Yeah. It's, a lot of students don't care about history. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But if we use it as a channel, right, as a platform to build skills that they can be successful with outside of the classroom, that's what I was going for. I wanted to incorporate a lot of the business skills, and so
I like it.
I was able to do that. It was a far school district. It would take me about an hour and 20 minutes to drive there
each way,
back
one
every
way.
day.
Oh man.
Yeah, one way. So it was a year that I sacrificed going out to this school, and
now at that point you have the paid internship. Are you done with Schools First?
Yeah. So it was the only offer that I had, and so I went out, I interviewed, and then they offered me the position after meeting with the superintendent. I said yes, and then I had to go and tell my vice president at Schools First, and she wasn't. She was definitely not prepared for that, because the position I was in at that point was as a relationship manager. So I helped manage our retirement portfolio with school districts, and she was definitely thrown off. But she wished me the best, and we parted ways cordially. And so that was it. And then I that was for a year, and then I got.
So what class were you? What grade level were you teaching at that point?
So I was teaching sophomores world history. This was a school district where 55% of the kids came from foster homes. It was around the corner from a prison. There were countless lockdowns. I had a student on one of the last few days of school was going to do a presentation on how they were going to shoot up the school in my classroom. It was rough. We had.
No, wait a minute.
And I'll take the AK and I'll put it on the table. How does that presentation go?
No, because I want this. This is I never said I was going to shoot up a school, and I never would have. But I was given an assignment one time in my history class to write where a crime took place.
Okay.
And then we were gonna try the crime. We were learning about the court system and due process and all that. Uh-huh. And I wrote a crime about two drug dealers, mm-hmm. Two women drug dealers named Alice D and Mary Jane. And they go to Tijuana and they get drugs. This whole, I mean, both of you understand
Yeah.
where I used to be in my writing
Yes.
process. And I wrote like a 5-page, it was supposed to be a 1-page, like short little paragraph. I wrote like 5 pages. And then I wasn't there because I missed a lot of school in high school. I wasn't there the day that they read mine. And so I showed up to school the next day and I was in trouble, and I had to go to the principal's office and I had to explain myself. I almost got suspended. It was a whole thing. So how does this almost shoot up the school presentation? How do you find out about it? What's the process there? What happens when you see something like that?
Well, so the students had school issued Chromebooks, and so they I'm sure this is way above what I know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the district, there's certain search words or things, algorithms, whatever.
Gun to school, probably.
The student is looking up. So the school district, the technology department, obviously red flags were raised with the search history.
Wow.
And so I remember I was in class and we were doing presentations, and the dean of students called and said, "Hey, is this student in your class?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Can you please send this student up?" I'm like, "Okay." So I told the student, "Hey, you got to go up, to go to meet with the individual." And it was like 2 or 3 minutes before the bell rings. And so the bell rings and right at the bell ringing, the dean of students and security's running to my classroom. Where's so-and-so? I'm like, you called and told me to send him up. So I sent him up. So they were like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." So then they just took off running. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Okay, cool. So then the next day I find out that the student was planning on giving a presentation on how they were going to shoot up the school in my classroom. And,
oh my gosh.
And I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. But I had to ask around. They weren't disclosing it to me, which I felt was a little irresponsible.
Yeah.
In any event, but yeah, so that was the type of school. I had students, body check me, smoking weed in class.
I gotta do a heart check here. All right, so wait a second. Your heart told you, I really want to go passionately go help other people and teach, and I want to go through all these struggles, and I want to go help people. Matter of fact, I want to be happy. You know what?
Yes.
I want to be happy. And so your happy ass got in a car and drove an hour and 15 minutes to get body checked, and some dude slipped you a note on how I'm going to
50% less of your earnings.
For 50% less of your earnings, where you could get body checked, and some dude could tell you how he's going to blow up the class and everything. And how's the smile? I just want to check how's the happiness.
It was
at this point.
It was it was it really tested the passion that I had. And truth be told, this was a lot of people that I knew that knew teachers at this school would say that was a teacher graveyard, because a lot of teachers would end up leaving the profession.
Understandably.
Yeah. I mean, so the year ends, and
wait a second. That's not even like how high, where he's like trying to educate the class and like they turned on him, but you know what I mean? That was just like, "Hey teacher, read this note." Hey dude, like you can't do this.
Well,
did you ever have, when you were working at Wells Fargo, like I'm assuming it had to be Wells Fargo, when you were actually working in a branch? Did you ever have a bank robbery attempt?
No, I think I missed when I got transferred to a branch. I think I missed one that had happened, like a holdup.
So you came closer. It sounds like you came closer to a violent gun situation
in the education
than you did in a bank.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you had to walk around with with
demeanor,
a swivel of the head, man. I mean, you just never.
Wow.
There's police officer was body slammed by one of the students at a football game. That's on camera. I mean, it was.
Jeez.
It really, you had to be very careful in how you talked to these students, because they, it's not their fault. They're a product of the environment they grew up with, and if 55% are living in foster homes because their parents are right around the corner at the prison, it's like, how do you blame them? So
Right.
I was still able to develop a lot of good relationships with the students, but it really tested my passion. And as the school year ended, I was applying, I was emailing, principals directly. I put in a lot of work, and I actually was thinking I'm going to have to stay out here another year. And I was like, I don't know if I can make it. But fortunately, I got a call back for a teaching position at a high school that's closer and in a very nicer area.
What was the name of that high school?
Chino Hills High School.
Is that the okay? Chino Hills High School. Okay. Oh, okay. Just a little bit of just one more dog. Oh, it always feels good to get to the there it is. Okay, sorry, I got the band warming up. We're good.
That's now right. At Chino, is it still sophomore world history, or what do you teach now?
No, so Chino Hills High School. So there is a Chino High School and a Chino Hills. So we have
to make sure Chino Hills High School. I don't want to mess that up. You're right.
Don't mess it up because we're big rivals.
Is it the same? Did I get it right? Is this the right? Did I get this
right?
Okay.
Yep, Huskies.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. I got the Huskies. Okay. Good.
So first year, which is last year, I taught world history. And then this year, so those are sophomores. And then this year I'm teaching world history honors and AP human geography. So AP human geography is kind of like a blend of sociology and geography with a little bit of business.
Damn, I should have tried harder in high school. That sounds like a great class.
It actually is. It's a pretty dope class. It's very enjoyable. I mean, there are a lot of things. I mean, I've learned a lot of things in the class teaching it. So it's and those are usually freshmen. Those are predominantly in my classes. They're freshmen.
All right. Now I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to give away the end of the story. But let's start you squeezing the orange juice and getting the juice out of this thing, man. Where do you end up? Where now you are in your happy drive to work every day? What's the ultimate position that you have gotten at this high school that you're most excited about? Is it the teaching history class?
So at the end of the day, for me, what I enjoy the most at Chino Hills is you have, and I don't want to say that the other school that I had wasn't enjoyable. It was challenging. It was different.
Mm-hmm. Right. Challenges are challenges. I mean, they're not good or bad. They're challenges.
My thinking, and maybe it's because I'm a new teacher, is that I want to save everybody. I don't want, I don't want accolades. I don't want, acknowledgments, things like that. My acknowledgement would be if any one of my students contacts me 5-10 years down the road and just says, it was because of you that I'm at where I'm at. That for me is worth $1 million. It's priceless.
I knew I should have wrote Mr. Scheffler that letter.
Actually, maybe not. It's priceless. And so that's what I look forward to is one day hopefully hearing back from a student or students that I've taught and said that I made a difference in their life. And so that's why I teach. What puts a smile on my face every day is hopefully knowing that I'm making a difference in these kids' lives. Building the skills that they'll need. Whether it's being able to communicate, whether it's being able to sell. We do a lot of projects in our class. I don't lecture, which is kind of ironic because I'm a history teacher. Most history teachers lecture, but for me, I create these projects that have a lot of real world applicability. Whether it's developing communication skills, being creative, collaborating, the utilization of technology. I mean, we have a lot of fun stuff. We do a lot of fun stuff in class. And so for me, what puts a smile on my face is hopefully knowing that I'm making a difference. And even if it's a small difference, if I can help keep a kid in school, if I can help a kid go from, going down this path and redirecting them to this path, I mean, that's why I teach. And I'm very fortunate where I have students email me and tell me that they miss my class, they miss being, in my class, things like that. And so that's really what continues to drive me is I feel I wake up, I feel I have a sense of purpose. I feel like I wake up and I'm making a difference in the community and hopefully in the world. Hopefully one of my students becomes somebody that makes a difference in the world, right? And maybe I had a small impact on that. So that's what keeps me going.
That'd be cool. So you teach, I don't know enough about human geography, so I'm not going to ask that. So you teach sophomore world history.
Yeah, world history honors. Yep.
World history honors. Do you tell them, do you teach them that Columbus discovered America? These are the important questions.
This is a hot topic on the show. This is a very, very hot topic.
How does that conversation go?
So typically they'll get that in junior high. You don't necessarily dive too much into it. So truth be told, so we have content and standards, right? We have standards that we have to teach.
Yeah.
No. You don't get my man. Did Christopher Columbus discover America in your class, or did Christopher Columbus not discover America in your class? Okay,
he's got to keep his job.
So that unit is the age of exploration, right? So you talk about exploring, and so I don't use the textbook all that much. Personally, everybody has a personal opinion. My personal opinion, not that it matters in the classroom because I tell my students that, but I try to use more primary source documentation than textbook because I want to try to eliminate any biases that can exist, right? I mean, I think most people will acknowledge that there are biases inherent in our education system, just like they are inherent in
everything,
China's,
really,
or Sweden's, or Italy, whatever it is, right? So I try to look at different perspectives, and we collaborate and corroborate those two to cross-check, right? So what really happened? And so to answer your question, Mr. Dude, I don't really teach what's in the textbook. I challenge my students to dig deeper into something specific like that, and they do their research and they take a stance and they present it. And so I give students the option. So I don't.
Dude, once you did your research about Christopher Columbus, what would you come up with?
Well, my research is that the homeboy got lost, wound up in the Bahamas.
Right. Yeah, he was having a good time.
And it's like, step aside, please. I discovered this.
That's
look at all these people here on this land that I discovered.
Hey, you! Yep. I discovered you. Hey,
that is true. I have challenged that. I've told you, hey, this is what textbooks say, right? Let's figure out. So what really happened, right? So what. And so I challenge, we don't necessarily will celebrate Columbus Day per se, but we look at that day and say, okay, let's dive deeper into why it's called Columbus Day. And then we research. And kids, I don't want to tell them what they should know. I want them to learn what they should know. Right. And so, so answer, that's how we do our projects. We don't, we try to eliminate the biases that I think are somewhat inherent.
Well, Adam, so I'm sure that's generally going to be your answer for my next question as well. And I understand what you're saying. I love that point of view. Let them come to their own determination instead of just memorizing what's in a book. But there's a lot that, and as we talked about in the beginning, you, me, and Debo, we all, we met in school. We all went to the same school for a few years. And we all grew up in the same time. When you and I were in high school, there was a lot that we were taught, especially in our history textbooks, that we come to find out later in life, maybe that was, maybe that's not exactly how it went down. Maybe that's how they just want to describe it for simplicity's sake or to keep the status quo. So with other things,
are you saying Humpty Dumpty was pushed, or are you saying that he fell? I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Well, I'm saying that there's a distinct possibility that wall was shaped in a way that Humpty Dumpty could not sit on it comfortably through systemic shaping. But that's my point. There are other things in the history book that say this was this way, and they don't leave it open for interpretation, but you do, and it probably should be left open for interpretation. So are there other conflicts with what's in the book, with what you believe in your heart, and how do you approach, I believe this to be one way, the book says it's something else, right. I have to present this to the students. How do you manage that internal conflict?
Wow.
No, we look at concepts, right? So we look conceptually at a unit, So
Yeah.
what concepts exist, and then we try to develop a driving question. So when I'm reviewing things with students, it's never I believe or I this, I that. You have to be very careful because you don't want to sway student thinking. And so we look at concepts within a unit. And then students will get together and we will create or develop, or they will create or develop driving questions. And so, we look at open-ended questions that are not easily answered by Googling it, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Who
shot MLK?
Yeah,
right.
Why did the Vietnam War start? Or, so I challenge students to create, driving questions, and that'll kind of shape, it'll kind of shape and lead them in their research. And so, when again, I try to, truth be told, I don't really use the textbook. I don't. I use primary sources. We look at various sources. And it's just all about students, let's say if we want to learn about Christopher Columbus, right? So a driving question.
I don't know why you would, but sure.
Right. But I'm saying, like, we can create a driving question, is how Christopher Columbus portrayed in textbooks an accurate view of him, or why, is it justified to deitize, so to speak, Christopher Columbus, for the lack of a better word, right? So it challenges students to look at the other side. And so that's how I approach, a lot of the controversial type of topics as well in class, any of them that exist, right? And so, it's got to be student led. We got to get away from this traditional teaching model of sitting in rows and teaching students. That's an old way, industrial
and memorize
revolution.
what I say.
That's an industrialization way of looking at things, right? It's not,
Right.
We're not in assembly plants anymore. Kids have to think outside the box. They have to know that what they're studying, it relates somehow to the real world. How is it? We look at the human element, the human impact. We don't analyze and remember or memorize dates and
Right.
places. No, we look at, okay, so, turning points, human impact, how it changed the future, right? So those are the things that students are more concerned about. That's how you engage them, because we live in a world of technology, and
Yeah. No,
they
it's
need
different.
instant gratification. They're on their phones.
Yeah. It's definitely.
I think I would have done a lot better in school with that model, because
Gentlemen, that's
just memorize this didn't work for me.
That's
Not at all.
that's the bell. I think we got to go to recess. Actually, I want to switch over to where the bell would leave you, sir. And I believe it's on the court. And you're just leaving this alone. You're not touching it, and I don't appreciate it. Talk to me about coaching, because you, sir, have just left us out, and I want to talk to you about coaching. Did you finally make a coaching gig?
My man has a passion for teaching.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. But he also has this coaching thing that he does, and I definitely want that on him. You're just leaving this thing out. I mean, do you enjoy coaching? Is that something you get to do? No, I know you enjoy coaching. Man, tell me about your coaching gig, because that's what I really want to get to right now. How's that going?
I enjoy coaching.
Who are you coaching for?
How did you get into it?
Yeah.
How did I get into it? So when I got hired at Tuna Hills, I said, hey, listen, I said, I want to be a part of the baseball program. I don't care how it is, what it is. I just want to be a part of it. And so I started off as a freshman head coach, and then was able to get, I guess, promoted, for the lack of a better word, up to the JV coach. I'm not sure if I want to do the varsity route. I think varsity would be amazing, but I like the development, right? It kind of ties into my teaching philosophy. I like to develop these kids and prepare them for varsity, so that, they're more refined. We have a good set of boys. I love being out there with them. It's like,
what are you coaching? What's the sport?
Baseball.
Baseball. Okay.
Baseball.
All right.
Yes, sir. So it's so fun to be out there. I get to be out there every day. Throw BP. I get to hit with them. We get to play game. Like it's fun. It's just fun being out on the field. And
how many kids are on the JV team right now?
16 right now.
Man, that's a big squad.
Would you say that
16.
Would you say that the coaching job is icing on the cake, or it's the cake?
I would say it's definitely icing on the cake. I don't know. I don't know where my coaching my coaching career is going to go.
See, you say it so humbly there. You're just like,
you're not going to be coaching the Angels anytime
Yeah,
soon?
we're expecting something like that.
The most important thing is as you guys know, my kids play sports.
Right.
Nico plays travel ball. I'm coaching Nico's travel ball team now, so they asked me to coach that. For me, at the end of the day, I just want to be there for my kids. And so when my kids started high school and they started playing sports,
right,
whether it's my two older boys or my daughter, I envision a break coming up in my coaching career so that I can make sure that I can be there for my kids and be able to watch them play their high school sports, because we get 4 years, right? We get 4 years with our kids.
Are they going to go to Chino Hills High School?
Well, my oldest one wants to. He wants to play basketball where the Ball brothers played, but he also wants to play baseball there. And it just, practically speaking, it doesn't really make sense because we live right behind the high school he would go to, all three of them. So they've mentioned that, but I think we're going to stay with our home school. But yeah, so that's kind of where the high school career maybe takes a break, and then after they're all out of high school, hopefully I can, maybe jump back into it. But I would say, to answer your question, Debo, it's more icing on the cake.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. It sounds like it.
But it's a pretty big icing that's on the cake. It's just not
two layers of icing,
thick layers of icing that you got to like 2 forkfuls before you even get.
There might be 2 or 3 layers, 4, 5, 6 layers of that. Yeah, but it's not the actual cake.
Now, Debo, we've been talking a lot recently about the pandemic and the effect it had on parents.
Okay.
And your perspective, we got Chris's perspective. You guys are having to teach the kids now at home, do the Zoom thing. So we've covered that a little bit. I want to get Adam's perspective from the teacher side. Now, you kind of, started your teaching career right before the pandemic, and then it sounds like you made this shift to Chino Hills kind of, right in the pandemic, or at least right before it, and then the pandemic hit. So how did that change your life, your lifestyle, going to work, dealing with students when you went from being I'm assuming you went from being in the classroom to having to do it over Zoom, and then also balancing your own kids having to do their schooling over Zoom. So talk to me about that a little bit. What was that like?
Man, it's tough. I mean, there's nothing like being in the classroom. I feed off of the student energy. I'm walking around. We have like auditorium style seating or group seating, so they're not rows, and I'm constantly, just interacting. I think one of the biggest skills that I have is to develop relationships and talk to people and relate to them.
I can agree with that.
I mean, when the first day of school, first day of class, they walk in and I'm bumping Biggie in class. They're like, stop it. They come in like, stop it, really? And I'm like, that's how it is. So it's different.
Which song? Any Biggie song, or do you have a go-to?
Usually it's,
because I'm wondering,
Biggie,
lyrics get a little
it's like Pandora. It's like Pandora. It'll be like Juicy, obviously edited version, but it's been tough, man. It's been these kids they genuinely struggle with anxiety and stress. They really do. Yeah. Like the anxiety of it, the stress of it. I'm pretty understanding. Unfortunately, there are a lot of old school teachers that maybe aren't as empathetic, and so my kids were home up until I think February, where we just finally we have to send them back. And so they've been back. I'm distance learning. I'm teaching from home until the end of the year. So there's a really fine balance as a teacher, trying to be empathetic and understanding and not overusing them, but at the same time, still creating a rigorous type of curriculum.
Right.
I'm not a believer in homework.
They still have to learn, at the end of the day.
I wasn't a believer in homework either. That was part of my problem.
I don't. But see, I don't like doing homework. How is it fair that we expect kids to go to school for 7 hours and then do 2 hours of homework? They're working overtime, right? It's not fair.
Nope.
So I try to structure things where we can do things in class and stuff. So it's I've had a few students that have came to me in our breakout rooms virtually and break down. They're just struggling, and
struggling or stressed.
Both. It's just, depression and so having to talk to them and be like a counselor and And it's interesting because a lot of these kids, I ask the kids, hey, have you talked to a counselor? Like, no, I don't feel comfortable, but they feel comfortable talking to me. So for me, I appreciate that and I love that. And I try to do my best and just trying to help these kids, man, because some of these kids are just genuinely struggling with learning on school, the social aspect, not being with their friends.
Yeah.
So this year cannot end fast enough, and so I'm hoping that we can get back to school. I'm hoping that people can stop politicizing certain things about the pandemic. Just get the damn vaccine. Doesn't matter, stop politicizing it. Let's just get kids back to school. Let's just get our life back to normal, right? And then just go from there. So, hopefully that rings true in fall. Hopefully we can be back in school because a lot of these kids are struggling, man. And our education system is hurting as a result.
Now, are you able to have the same approach? Because you talked about not using the textbook, interacting with the kids, giving them critical thinking skills and life skills instead of just memorize dates and names. Are you able to still have that same approach on Zoom and with distance learning, or do you have to rely more on the book, or how do you balance that? How do you manage that?
Well, I'm still able to do a lot of those things. I integrate and utilize technology a lot. So the having access to the internet is invaluable. So I've been able to do a lot of things. A lot of kids create different projects, utilizing, we do podcasts. Some students do an amazing job at podcasts.
Should get them on the show.
And, we do like museum exhibits. So we can do a lot of things like that. So being able to utilize, I don't lecture, we're in class an hour and 20 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't lecture. Kids shut off 12 minutes. They stop listening.
Yeah, I already shut off a long time ago when you were talking.
Yeah. So,
well, Adam, wait, I hate to cut you off. I got a note from our producer, Jeff, that we got to make sure that you get back to class in time. So just to real close this out because we still got to go to one more room. If I'm not sure, we have a breakout session to get to. Okay. Dude does a small, quick game that he wants to put in, and it's a game we do on the show. It's Lit or What Are You Smoking? And today we're going to change it up just a little bit. It's going to be banker or teacher. I'm going to let him describe it, but we'll get you back in class. We don't want you to get a tardy slip. So dude, go ahead and give him the game real quick. How we're gonna do this one?
All right, so it is banker or teacher, and we're dealing with either movies or TV shows. I'm gonna give you a piece of information, and then you have to either guess, whatever it is, the character name, the movie, the TV show, and it's gonna either have something to do with a banker or a teacher, or a bank, or a professor, or something along those lines.
In the bank of the teacher
and teacher somehow.
Okay, it's going to tie into bank.
I think I'm ready.
Okay, and I'm playing too.
You two are going to play.
Yeah,
you're going to play against each other.
All right.
So we're just going to go. We're going to go Adam first.
Okay.
And then Debo, you'll go second.
You got it.
And I got a few here.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with Adam. I'm going to give you the character name.
Okay.
And then you have to either give me the movie or show, or you can give me the actor. I'll accept either.
Okay.
All right. The character name is Vivian Banks.
Oh, that's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
So we'll take that. We'll accept that. Vivian Banks on Viv. Correct.
I would not have gotten that.
It's lit.
I would not have gotten that.
You would not have gotten
that.
What?
No.
Debo,
yeah.
I'm going to give you, all right. Samuel L. Jackson played Joe Morris in what movie? You got to name the movie. Samuel L. Jackson played Joe Morris.
I'm going to phone a friend.
We'll allow it.
Okay. Could we phone a friend? Hey, dude. Yo, I'm on this game show, and I have no idea what the answer is. To be honest with you, I don't even know what the question was anymore. Any chance that you could telepathically help me out with this one?
I think the question had something to do with Sam Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. He was in a movie, and he was in a movie, and it's like
Do you want
Tom.
to name a movie that Sam Jackson?
Yeah. No, not Jurassic Park. No, I need you. I need the
Snakes on a Plane.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Duder. I think it's Snakes on a Plane.
That's incorrect. The movie is The Banker.
I'm going.
The Banker.
I was gonna say a
Banker
banker.
teacher.
I was gonna say a banker over a teacher.
I was like, I had zero. I had absolute zero. Full blank. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. We're gonna go back to Adam. Haley Mills is the actress, and she played this character. I want the character's name. Haley Mills played this character on Saved by the Bell.
I know. Oh my God, this is the original when they were like in
5,
junior high. No,
4,
Miss. Oh my
3,
gosh, I know.
2.
Oh my God, I know.
Need
You're gonna
an
say
answer.
you're gonna say her name, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, you are.
I can picture. She's blonde. I could totally picture her.
Yeah, I need a name. Give me something.
No, hold on. Wait, let me. I can't remember that.
Miss Bliss.
God,
Miss Bliss. You can
Bliss.
kick yourself for that. All right, Debo.
Yeah.
Over to you. Adam's leading 1-0.
1-0. Yeah, the score is pretty high right now.
This is
The
ridiculous.
score is pretty high.
It's only
In the
2
movie,
questions.
in the movie How High,
Nice.
Professor Jackson, played by Spalding Gray, teaches what class? Professor Jackson in the movie How High teaches what class?
I want to say it was English. But
African studies.
African studies.
what's African studies? Right on, man. Walk out. Protest. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right on, my brother.
All right, Adam still leads 1-0. We got a couple more here.
Get him.
In the movie Invincible, Mark Wahlberg, Vince Papale about the Eagles. The movie Invincible, this actress plays Janet Cantrell, Mark Wahlberg's wife. Which actress plays Mark Wahlberg's wife
Oh my gosh.
in the movie Invincible about the Philadelphia Eagles? Dwayne's wondering how this is tied in
Can I
to the
get?
theme.
Can I get a? Oh my God, I know,
What do you need? You need Jesus? What do you
Yeah.
need? What's going on, bro?
No.
He's over
You
here.
phone a
just-
friend, you
and I
need
know her too.
50-50.
Yeah, can I get?
Could you get the answer?
I can give you the answer.
She was in.
She was in a lot of
Role
things.
Model.
She was a good
She
actress.
was in Role Model.
This is correct.
Something.
Look at the teacher
Something.
scratch his head. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Something Banks.
Man. He's figured out how it tied into the theme.
Evelyn.
Let's
Banks.
use that critical thinking.
Here we go.
Use those
Evelyn.
life skills. 5,
Hold on, Evelyn Banks.
4,
Elizabeth Banks.
3, 2. Need an answer. 1.
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. He got it.
Very
I was gonna
nice.
say Evelyn Banks too, and I was like,
I heard you on the Evelyn Banks. I was like, man, he's so close. All right, last one for round 1, and then I got a couple more for bonus round.
All right.
Debo,
Yeah.
in the movie.
Okay.
No, you're going to give me the movie.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the actor and the character.
All right.
Edward James Olmos
We like that guy.
plays Jaime Escalante in what movie? Oh, you got a couple of these hard movie ones. That's all right.
oh come on,
Edward
stop it.
James Olmos plays Jaime Escalante in what movie?
Banker teacher.
Right.
Teacher. I know the movie where he's in
Right.
the movie, and he
You
comes
can
in
picture it right now.
all day.
5.
Based on a true story.
Based on a true story. 4.
Nothing. I'll cut you early, man, for time
Are you
reasons.
sitting right now?
I'm
What are you doing?
standing. I'm standing tall. Standing
Okay.
teacher.
And what are you,
Okay.
and what are you
Sitting-
doing with your words?
Speaking. Stand and speak.
Yeah.
Stand and speak.
Right.
Stand-
Edward James Olmos plays Jaime Escalante in Stand and Speak. No, that's not it. What is it?
Stand and speak.
I have no idea. I got
3.
nothing.
Stand and Deliver.
Stand and give it. Well, okay. I didn't know that was the name
Stand
of it.
and Deliver.
How is that a teacher?
Alright.
How is that a teacher? Is he a banker?
He plays a teacher.
Oh,
He plays
a
That's
teacher.
right. Yeah, that's right.
All
Whatever.
right.
I'm not doing so well at this
over
game
there-
here, dude. It's
No,
very
you're not doing so
specific.
well.
You know, I do good with multiple choices. I feel like I do much better, but it's all right.
Well, we got 3 more. We're going to call this the bonus round because you can't catch Adam at this point.
Thank you.
So this is like the
They're worth-
fighting to not get. What was the soccer thing Sobe told us about?
Soccer
You're fighting
tournament.
to not get relegated. All right, Adam. Tyra Banks plays the character named Deja in what movie? See, this is a crossover, Debo. Her name is Banks.
Mhm. But then
Tyra Banks plays Deja in
Uh-huh.
what movie?
I only think of one Tyra Banks movie, so it's easy for me.
I already gave the bank.
Uh huh. Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Higher learning?
Higher learning is correct.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
3. That's going to clinch the victory for Professor Jacoby. Debo,
Yeah.
over to you. Your
I get
final one here.
I get
Yeah.
I get where you're going now with this.
So you don't get shut out.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Nick Nolte plays Alex Jarrell, a professor, in what movie? Nick Nolte plays Alex Jarrell, a professor, in what movie?
I'm gonna go ahead and do a 50-50.
This movie, by the way, has a great cast. I didn't realize it till I was preparing for this game.
Nick Nolte.
I don't think you're not gonna get it.
Thank you,
Ralph
you, Adam.
Macchio's in the movie.
Thank you, Adam, for
Sorry,
knowing me,
Morgan
and thank you,
Freeman's in
dude,
it.
Sorry, buddy.
for recognizing that this game
Laura
works for
Dern,
Adam.
Judd Hirsch.
I've seen the movie. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it.
I
but
couldn't give you the name.
This
if
is
not-
like an old movie.
never in a million years.
1984.
Nothing.
Yeah, this is an old
Zero.
movie.
The name of the movie is Teachers.
He's Debo. Would you just try, bro? Just try one of the words.
Yeah.
Teacher.
Just name a word, any word. All right, final one. Adam's already won, but we're going to give him one to go out on.
Oh man.
Charlie Chaplin plays a janitor in this movie. Charlie Chaplin.
I'm gonna say
this was the
Bankers.
final one in case we needed a tie.
I'm gonna see
What are you-
Bankers.
Bankers, man, it's called The Bank. The Bank. That was close.
Judges almost gave it to you. They called
All
that
right,
one off.
Adam wins 3-0. It's lit or what are you smoking, banker or
Relegated.
teacher?
Relegated.
Man,
Debo
very,
gets relegated.
I mean, it was tough, man. I tried to get in there, but it's just not my it's not my style, man. You know, remembering
right.
names and that sort of thing. Adam,
Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna take us out to the baseball field here.
Okay.
Looks like Coach Jacoby's got a fungo in his hand.
You
We got the cage. They're wheeling in the cage behind the plate. They're putting the protective mesh fence in front of the mound. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a couple balls here, Adam. You can step into the batter's box if you want. We're gonna do a little BP.
Let's do it.
Little batting practice. So you were on the show. We got to do the interview, the banker to teacher. What how'd you feel about it today? Did you get it? Did you feel like you got a chance to get your story out there?
I did. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on. I appreciate the kind introduction. I appreciate the effort that you guys put into putting this together. And if I can just leave those that are listening with some advice, you only have one life to live. I tell my students all the time. So you got to find something that makes you happy. Sometimes it may be something that you never thought would be something you would consider, but you just gotta kind of go where life takes you, and you can't be afraid to make sacrifices, and you can't be afraid to take the challenges head on. I mean, that's what life's about. It's the journey, right? So, just find something that makes you happy, because you only have one life to live, so you might as well live it happy. So I appreciate you guys having me on, and hopefully more people out there that take that advice and just know there's something out there for everybody. You just got to find it.
There it is. Now, I was 15 when I was a sophomore in high school, so I'm guessing your students are roughly around that age. If I went back in time, I told 15-year-old Adam Jacoby, this was going to be your life right now. How does 15-year-old Adam Jacoby respond to that? Is this what you would have thought your life would have became? How would you have been happy with it? How would you have responded if I told 15-year-old Adam Jacoby that you were going to be a history teacher, married to your high school sweetheart, 3 kids, coaching baseball? How does 15-year-old Adam Jacoby respond to that?
Yeah, whatever, dude. What time you want to go to Angelo's?
Nice. All right. That's and then I'm going to get you out of here on this one. The Angels, our favorite baseball team. They're doing all right. They're not looking like the world beaters we hoped they were going to be, but they're also not as bad as they've been the last couple years.
Pitching.
And then the Lakers, our favorite basketball team, they are not looking like the championship squad that they were last year.
No.
Who is in more trouble right now on this day, May 6, 2021, the Lakers or the Angels?
Man, I think I'm going to have to go with the Angels. Only reason why is I feel that the Lakers team this year is better than last year, and we won it last year.
Yeah.
So I think they'll figure it out. They have arguably still the best player in basketball right now. They have a squad. We're squadded up. The thing that concerns me about the Angels is that we don't have pitching, and when our offense is off, chances are we're going to lose at this point. So I would probably say the Angels, although it doesn't really make sense because they have more time to get it corrected, and they have the trade deadline. But I think as of right now, I would probably say the Angels.
There it is. All right, man. I'll let you get out of here if you got to go.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to try to find what Debo, are you picking flowers in the outfield? What are you doing, man? We're supposed to be doing batting practice.
I don't know what he's doing.
Just wait. There's people on the other side of the fence, and I was just saying hi to them. Saying hey, what's up? There was a couple girls. They walked this way. They said they're going to come back. Yeah, but I just figured I'd just say what's up. And these flowers. Well, for your information,
you want to put the flowers down?
No, the flowers are fine. I was just gonna, I just give them to them, and then just it was girl. It's fine. But it's whatever. Okay, I'm having a good time out here. It's good. It's a good view. Hi.
How did you feel about today's show? You got one of your oldest friends on, Adam Jacoby.
Man,
formerly known as Spanky.
I got to be honest with you, man. Probably year to date, my first or second favorite show. It splits there with the same team. But truth be told,
I want to interrupt you real quick. I want to give a shout out to LA's premier boxing trainer, Steve Gomez.
Woo!
He also coached on. He also coached on that little league team, and we didn't mention him.
Yes, he did.
Nah, man, we didn't get a chance to meet. Was that all the coaches that were on that original team?
That's it. We got them all now.
Okay.
We got them all now.
All right. Yeah, no, it was, and I got to tell you, man, dude, we've been trying to get this show to happen for just way too long. We talk about it like we're going to marry it, but it was important. There's a reason why the Dude and Debo needed this show. I needed people to know the kind of influence that influences these shows. These are the voices we listen to. These are the voices that inspire us. These are the voices that make us who we are. So if our audience knows anything about us, they know that we're bringing people like this, and we're listening to people like this. That's important to us. Know where we come from. Know what we're about to say for every show. So for that,
let's get out of here on this note. Money does not make you happy. Money is not happiness. Find your own happiness. Make yourself happy, regardless of the money involved.
But that's that's what I'm saying, man. My man brought a true story to light that showed people that money is important, but not the most important thing. And I just
There it is.
In those reasons, he's seriously a hero. Make
Nope,
no
I'm
mistake.
just packing up. I'll be out in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, they're evicting me.
Okay.
All right, I guess the show is over. That's it.
It is over.
Adam,
Cut.
thanks a lot. I appreciate you coming
Appreciate
on,
you,
man. We'll
Thanks,
talk
guys.
offline at some point, and I'll give you a hug
Absolutely.
now that we're vaccinated.
Absolutely, man. It was nice seeing you guys again. Take care of yourselves, and thank you again for having me on.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Good luck, guys. See ya.
Appreciate you,
Peace.
brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Appreciate you.
I think we're gonna leave this. We're gonna leave today with the Adam intro show. What do you think? Yeah, we're gonna leave it.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. It's a good song. All right, there it is. Peace. Oh, I probably should. You know what I should do? I should turn up the volume and then
You should play it?
Yeah, I should probably. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. All right.
Jacoby. Adam Jacoby. Adam Jacoby. Adam Jacoby.